Hello, my name is David Turner and this is another Lunar Poetry Short. Today I'm joined by Ginger John. Hello John.
How are
you doing? And we're at the Camden Centre in Holborn in central London, and about an hour and a half away from the Stand Up and Spit gig, which has been organised partly by Speaking Volumes and the man himself, Tim Wells. But before we start chatting, we're going to have a couple of poems from John.
This is Tesco chain store massacre. Tim likes this one. Walking around the shelves packed with commodity goods, buying new improved soapy suds, curried beans and tins of chicken, plastic bags with plastic ham in, fresh today from a processing plant, full of chemicals low on calories, packed by robots with no nasty habits, and whisked to you in freezer containers, fresh and improved, full of country goodness. Thanks to the chemicals from the ICI companies, you'll all become victims of the Tesco chain store massacre. And it's get it in, and it's get in there with your metal trolleys, buying food, swallowing poison, chemical-based poison waste, chain store food enter a new age with new improved protein-powered chemical waste. Because instead of dumping it in the sea, they've mixed it with gravy and put it in tins and sell it in Tesco's as complete meals. And it's keep it cheap, so they'll buy it, poison the masses while showing a profit. You'll never escape, you won't get away from the Tesco chain store massacre.
Cheers.
And this is called. I made the Sunday Express with this one. Half a page. I did the first 4 lines, and in the Sunday Express, the guy said, I'd used more expletives in the first 4 lines of my poem than anything else. So I'll do this poem to you.
Yeah.
I said it on the night, and after 4 lines, he said, I'm not listening to this with my wife. And I said, well, there's the door. Fuck off. And that's the only expletive I used. So this is the poem that I read. The first 4 lines are all full of expletives, according to this man. Corner shops sell video nasties and glue sniffing kits to teenage delinquents, and everyone gets pissed when they get their gyros, because oblivion seems better than the Tories' bright new brown tomorrow. And they dish out dole to all the kids when there's plenty of jobs for genetic scientists. I saw 2 in the paper just this week, and papers have already changed. They got really small, compact they call it, because they tell you nothing at all, except Sharon likes sailing and travels by train, and the editor's got a sewer in place of a brain, and it's racist and sexist. It's a pile of shit. If it was toilet paper, I'd give up wiping me nose forever and ever. And TV has changed. We now have 4 channels, but I'm still fucking bored with University Challenge and Biggins is a pig and Checkers is a brat. Give me some cheese while I go rock the brats. And cinema has changed. They now call them units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or maybe more. Take your kids to see this great new flick, Godzilla versus a sex dwarf nymphomaniac in 3D with sensor sound and a scratch snip card for all those ghastly bits. By exchange since I was a lad. But I'm glad that I'm old, because when they bring back conscription, they'll round up the anarchists and shoot all the communists. And what are you laughing for? They're going to use all the socialists as target practice. By exchange since I was a lad.
Thank you. Actually, I wrote a review for the Lunar Poetry magazine, and we had a complaint that my swearing was excessive.
Good on
like
you.
I said, it shouldn't be so fucking shit, should it?
Yeah. Philip Larkin would love you.
Yeah. So first question, as always, is why poetry?
When the punk thing started and all that, I suppose it's a bit of a cliche, because a lot of the rappers say this, you know what I mean, they wanted to be in a band.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be in a band, and I was listening to John Cooper Clarke, John Peel's session, and I went, that's like one of mine. I can write stuff like that, and I've got the accent. So I did a bit of stuff and all that. Then I read about Seething Wells and Attila the Stockbroker, and I sent Swells a poem called Valhalla, and he printed it in Molotov Comics.
Okay.
So that was my first venture into poetry, ranting poetry.
It seems like a common story with the ranters, that the first sort of outing is through some sort of zine or...
Oh yeah, the zines were really, really thick, you know what I mean, really big. You know what I mean, how the zines used, I know they're like local, but you play a gig one night and a couple of days later there was a fanzine out with a review of the gig in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were great. You know what I mean? And other fanzine editors read them, and they published stuff out of other fanzine, other ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were all like really like stringers all around the country, writing all these things. And then you had the big American things like Maximum Rock and Roll used to pick up on them as well, and say, "Can you do a bit more on that? It sounds really good." You know, band or review there. And you used to get Maximum Roll with a whole page. Some guy owes a fanzine in Hartlepool or something, and they give him a whole page in Maximum Rock and Roll or Flipside, and it's all reviews of English bands and tapes and things that you never get to see, and addresses that you could write to and go, "Go on, send us that tape." But fanzines were good, and plus we had our own fanzines as well. Swells had Molotov comics, which I used to chuck bits and bobs in there as well. Attila had Tarana Thrash, Janine Booth, Big J, she had Blaze, you know what I mean? And then there was a few others. There was Wake Up fanzine, which had a lot of the ranting stuff in it, which was a really big thick fanzine, like a telephone book.
Yeah.
Dave's fanzine, that was really good, and quality. But yeah, fanzine helped a lot.
So when you first started writing poetry, what was the reaction with like friends around you, or was it a normal thing to be doing at that time?
No, no, not at all. I'm a poet. But like when Clarkey took off and all that, it was quite acceptable. It was acceptable with the music friends that I had. But the other mates basically don't take a blind bit of notice. If you see my Facebook, all the plugs for this gig, not one of them interested. It's other people that have found it and come on and gone, "Oh, see you there." But like my mates would go, "Yeah, right."
Was there a similar thing with the poetry scene or the spoken word scene and the music scene then? I'm thinking like comparing it to the scene in the 90s where it seemed like everyone that was in the band wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and every stand-up comedian was a failed musician. You know, was there that similar link was there? Or?
Yeah.
So
where comedy was the new rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have been your main influences as a writer and performer, and are they different?
I get ideas from just basically anything you see, observing and that. But I like jokes. So a lot of mine were punchlines from jokes that I've done, or just a joke and I fluffed it up a bit. But like things that piss you off, you know, politics, a bit political. I got told it was a bit political anyway by
It seems to me that the one difference between the ranters that I've spoken to, like the original lot that I've only spoken to a few, compared to spoken word people now that do a similar style, is that people that are doing it now have made a very conscious decision to be political or to be angry, whereas with the ranters it was just that's what you did, so it wasn't as much of didn't seem as much of a conscious decision to be angry.
Well, I mean, you had the winter discontent, Thatcher, Falklands War, stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I must tell you, you know, when Mrs. Thatcher retired, my fucking hat went out the window. You bastard, get back in there. I voted for you. Oh, sorry, lads. No, but, yeah. But the stuff, she was great. And you could rhyme over the thing with Thatch. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sound rhyme with them numpties that are in there. You know what I mean?
I think that's one thing. It seems like a lot of people are struggling now to be sort of political in their poetry or art or whatever, because it's all so banal. Like the government now, they're so plain, you know, and deliberately so.
Well, it's the same thing, and it's just bland.
Yeah, and it's obviously a deliberate choice, isn't it? By that point, because then you can't pick up on anything because they're all
spouting the same thing.
Discussing this with Janine, you can't be that angry. This was before the election. You couldn't be that angry with Cameron because essentially you ended up being angry with Miliband because they're the same fucking arseholes. Yeah. Whereas I suppose when the ranting thing was happening, there was a very definite.
It needs something, but not UKIP.
Yes, so, like I said, we're here. We've just started talking a little bit about the ranting, and we're here because of the gig. We'll get on to talking about that properly, but maybe we can have a couple more poems before we do.
Yeah. I'll just lubricate the neck. Oh look, yeah. We're doing that. I'm not doing that one. Oh, yeah, settlers don't be better. This is the first poem ever written. Ever written.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the first one I ever read. It's called Paranoid Attack. It's about travelling on the tube in London and how unfriendly people are.
Okay.
I haven't got this written down, but I should know it. Packed in the tube, don't try to move, don't talk to people, they'll think you're mad, don't get involved, don't touch that girl, she'll scream blue murder or call you a perv. Are you lost and can't cope with no buttons on your coat? Is it hard to react because your man keeps flashing back? Watch that car, watch your back, too late to react, paranoid attack, paranoid attack. Oh, look at that man getting beaten up, don't get involved, it'll do you no good, and he's only black because he works in a mine, but property or blanking. But coal mine, mind over matter is a different reaction when you're lost and can't cope with no buttons on your coat. Is it hard to react when your man keeps flashing back? Watch that car, watch your back, too late to react, paranoid attack, paranoid attack, paranoid attack.
Thank you.
Diddly diddly ding. This is called Nowt. It's basically, this is my fuck off, I don't like you. You're the engaged tone in my mind, a black cassette that won't rewind, a late night wine on the telly at night, a census form in a derelict house, an oddly for two in the Afghan hills, a sales rep for Argentinian beef, a union shop steward in Polish steel, a national from Canada in Notting Hill Gate, a young conservative out of work, a pain in the place where it really hurts. You're all of these, you're not worth now. A transistor radio without a battery, a videotape without a player, a motor car without an engine, a prostitute without a clinic, a bank account with nothing in it. The Liberals' dream of running the country. You're all of these, you're not worth now. You're just a square wheel on the road of life, an abscess in the mouth of mankind, a late night bus that's broken down, a telephone box that's been vandalised. You're all of these, you're not worth Nowt. And if Little Brother was here at the time, he'd call that a shopping list poem. Because it's all,
Actually, before we get talking about the ranting stuff, I just wanted to ask you how, because obviously you're gigging a fair bit still now.
Yeah.
How do people, like younger audiences, take to your part? I'm just thinking because there are a couple of references there, like engaged times and cassette tapes. A lot of people wouldn't know what that means.
Oh,
you know?
It happened to me at the what's it called, the gig in Borough.
Dan said, I was going to mention that, because there were a lot of blank faces. Because what you did one poem, and I think a lot of it went over people's heads, just the references.
Oh, the one you're talking about is the adverts on the telly.
That's it, adverts on the telly.
The adverts on the telly, they're just going, what?
Yeah.
Oops. Well, I was halfway through it and I was looking at it and you go, oh dear.
I forgot to ask you about it after the gig actually, because I was looking around and I mean I understood the references, but as a very young child, right, and I was out of the younger lot or whatever, I was quite a bit older than most of the audience.
I was still on the stage and this big fucking tumbleweed blowing across in front of me.
Must have been.
But I was halfway through it, I thought, bollocks, thinking that me.
Yeah. But I suppose that's the closest.
But that was a very quick set.
Yeah.
He didn't like me, I don't think. What's in me shed?
No, okay. Yeah.
A fucking potato. What's all that about?
I suppose that's the closest nowadays you'll get to it.
Every time we come near me, Tim was coming up going, oh, I'm terrible, we're going, oi!
Yeah, so the ranting thing, how did you get involved with the other guys that are sort of involved with the stand up and spit thing now?
Well, the thing on the, what do you call it, listen to Peely, and then there was a little bit written about Molotov comics in The Enemy by Neil Spencer. So that's when I sent the thing to Swells, and that's when he published Valhalla in Molotov comics. I also read about him and Attila and all that sort of thing, and I said, well, I'd like to see you. And he said, oh, we're playing Brixton Ace, and so I hitchhiked down from Manchester, I went to see him. And Swells was on with Benjamin Zephaniah. And I went, well, I like that, or something like that. So Swells gave me things. Attila was really helpful at the beginning. He gave me phone numbers for everybody and the bestie friend. He listed. Honestly, I've still got my own. I've got like gig, leaflets, flyers, and Attila's written on the back, and it's just chocolate. Phone them. I played that one. Do that one. They're good. Don't talk to so and so. Talk to so and so. And really, really so helpful. And that's what we did a lot. I'd get a gig that they hadn't played, so you send them the phone number. You know what I mean? You go, hey, just done a gig there, and they pay. You know what I mean? So we all told each other about it, and then it's sort of like that. So like how the punk, we do punk gigs as well. You know what I mean? And out of the punk stuff, that some of the people that were promoting punk started doing alternative cabaret, because there was no alternative cabaret when we started. You know what I mean? You had the thing in London with Rick Mail and all that, the comedy store, up in Paul Raymond's review, but there weren't no cabaret circuit.
No,
and that came out of us and the punks and all that sort of thing.
I think that's one of the most interesting things to talk about now with spoken word, is because I think it's a bit taken for granted that you can go and read every night if you want. There's different places to go and read, and there's different styles of club and different styles of bar and night.
Yeah.
But I suppose back then you had to put everything on yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did loads of promoting gigs yourself and stuff like that. I've done gigs for them, and then they've done a gig for us. And I was in Ipswich a bit at the time as well, and I went to see John Cooper Clarke. That's where me and Tim crashed the stage at Clarke's gig at the Roundabout. And that night I booked Attila, Swells. I booked somebody else as well. I booked Benjamin. I booked the three of them to do Ipswich, Albion Mills in Ipswich. It was good stuff.
I suppose coming from Manchester, it was a pretty good location to get involved with things, wasn't it?
Clarky.
Between Manchester and like Bradford, there was a lot happening there, wasn't there? I mean, it's quite easy to get sucked in to think that everything was happening in London all the time.
But it did me harm in one sense, that I did most of the beginning in Bradford. And so the Manchester lot classed me as a Bradford poet. And the Bradford ones did a thing Voices from the Valley, and it's all the poets, everything. Jules is in it, Little Brother in it, Swells are in it, and it's got a big thing about this and all that. And at the end bit he goes, and other poets that were about the time was Ginger John. And we got Dirk Spig and a few others in there, and nothing against Dirk or anything like that, but Mr. Hughes as he is now. I was doing more gigs than any of them, and I was gigging loads more than any of them. Not as much as Nick Toxic and Celia Wells, but I was doing the gigs, and they'd always say, "Oh, we're looking for another poet." They go, "Oh, Ginger's here in the house, bring him along with you." "Oh, right, yeah, bring him then." And I used to get gigs on the backs of Swells and Nick living at the house as well.
So you had a lot of people putting on gigs.
Well, we did the Intolerance tour. And that's the first national Ranters tour.
Okay.
There's never been one since.
How many dates were there?
Oh, unseen. Some were on there.
Okay,
Some on there, but that was like weekly.
Yeah. Okay.
That was out the NME. You know, these printed up gigs, tour gigs, and they print them every week. So. Oh, we played everywhere and
anywhere. What about the benefit gigs as well?
Benefit gigs, yeah.
So there was a lot of that happening as well.
Yeah. Well, they liked us, didn't they? Because we weren't a band or anything like that. They get bungers on with anybody. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Oh, they always had a round-team poet on with him. Jesus Christ. There was a good quote of Steve Druitt once. Nothing nasty meant by it or anything. We'd done a gig somewhere and it was a miners' benefit gig. And Steve's dead dry. Steve drew it out of the Newtown Neurotics. He went, "I wonder how many benefit gigs the miners will do for us when they go back to work." Which was quite nice. Yeah, we did that. Print workers, fire brigade, nurses. We're on the picket lines. Most of the ranters were on picket lines. There was a lot of smaller ones that we did and all that. And like raising money and all that. Help out where you can. You know, and we were cheaper in a band, you know. You're thinking like then in the 80s, for like a sort of semi-name band, like a punk band or sort of band, you're talking like 150, 200 quid, 250. You know what I mean? Well, you can have a ranting poet, you know what I mean? You can have about half a dozen of them for that. And that's why I think the cabaret thing come out of it and all that. And it made cabaret artists as well at the time. Like the old girl thing from Sheffield, the Shopping Elves. You know what I mean? They were great. They're all miners' wives and all that. And then they got this comedy thing together, and they toured and gigged, and they were funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. But you didn't mind doing it, you know what I mean? You didn't mind doing that for the miners and all that.
Yeah.
We was out, me and Swell were out fly posting SWP, coal, not dole things on every lamp post and grid in Bradford.
And do you see now with gigs that you go to, do you see a continuation of ranting poetry in younger poets?
Who's let that old fella in here go? What's that old fella creeping about for? Not a mate of Jimmy Savile's, is it?
Yeah, but are there any younger poets that you think that continue that style of poetry?
Yeah, well, you got Kate Tempest going out there now, and you got Ella Harrison, who's with us, doing gigs with us at the moment.
Emily,
and she's stormingly good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And she's done a little ditty thing as well. But like, yeah, she's got the spirit and all that. Yeah, I'm all for them. You know what I mean? But if they got the spirit and all that, want to call themselves ranting poets, get on with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unlike the other ones, we were never encouraged. But I will say that the ranters will encourage new ones, and we'll put them on the bill. You know, we will say, "Oh, put them on." Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm just hoping that the interval, we got an interval tonight. A load of them all dive on stage and do like we did. Yeah. When the interval comes up, a load of them jump up on stage and start doing the poems or whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Shout "Hello, Mum."
I mean, we could chat all evening, but we've got time restraints. So I think we're going to wind up just with two more poems, please.
Do you remember the Magic Roundabout?
I do. Yeah.
Right, you remember the Magic? Go for that. I don't want to do any poem that goes whizzing over your head.
The people that are listening can Google it at least, so it'll be fun.
Well, they've done the film.
There's been a film of it, yeah.
There was a film with Kylie Minogue and Robbie Williams in it.
Oh.
Yeah, she was Florence.
Oh, okay.
Worked for me. This is just trying to explain to you about. Go and Google it on what you got if you want to know who Mr. Rusty is, and he's not very rude. This is called Things Have Changed on the Magic Roundabout. Things have changed on the Magic Roundabout now they've grown up and got sussed. Florence lives with a friend who's a radical feminist and don't take kindly to macho men. Doodle to unions, the militant picket is really putting the buy on for the unions these days. And Dylan the Rabbit is now going out as the animals answer to Billy Bragg. But Brown the Snail still ain't got sussed, he's still out campaigning for the Liberal Alliance. Irma True's been liberated by the ALF and now lives on a farm in Barrow-in-Furness. The Magic Garden's been sprayed with paraquat to stop the dirty stinking hippie peace convoy and hold a free acid house punk rock festival in it. And poor old Zebedee, what's happened to him? Well, it's now a spring in a cruise missile firing system. Things have changed on the Magic Roundabout.
Cheers.
And this is the last one, and it's called You're Like an Unknown. You're like an unknown from the twilight zone, a yuppie's car without a phone, a jacksuit suit that's never been pressed, a family wedding without any guests. If you were Valium, I'd get depressed. It's shame of man, you look good in the dress. Kiss me hardy, kiss me quick, they only call you milkshake because you're thick. Humanity needs you like a fish needs a bike. If you were a job, I'd go out and strike. Because you're like a pub on the moon, no atmosphere at all. If you were the winning ticket in a raffle, the prize would be fuck all. I thank you, good night. On tour up till November.
Thanks very much, John. And I suppose people can find you on Facebook and that, can't they? To find gigs.
John Lund, Ginger John.
Yeah,
Ginger John Ranting Poet.
I'll have a link underneath the video on YouTube anyway.
Oh, right, nice one.
Cheers, John.
All right, thank you.
Clear up. Enjoy.